Doo-doo-dee. It's Nandi!
Hello friends, I'm back today to discuss the Armageddon event. It is kicking off on June 22nd and is a mini mythic style event, similar to the ones that we had for Calgar and Actus. The truth is that it's actually much more complex than anything we've had in the past, so bear with me while I try and explain and analyze everything so that you can make the most of it. If you're new here, mini-mythic events have been the community-derived name for these week-long events where you earn currency and spend them in a shop on your choice of badges, orbs, shards, requisitions, and other stuff. If you're already feeling overwhelmed, it's because these events are, by design, supposed to give players lots of choice and agency in how they spend their rewards and advance their roster. They're awesome, really generous, and on current pacing system, seem to be occurring every 3 months or so. What is Armageddon and why is this event so special? The Mini-Mythic series of events is directly tied in with Games Workshop's release of 11th edition of Warhammer 40k. For those not in the know, Games Workshop updates their tabletop rules set every couple of years in the form of a new edition. That's happening this summer, and Snowprint are doing their event alongside it. Games Workshop have also announced a narrative campaign to go alongside 11th edition, where players can shape the lore outcomes of the 40k universe, and that's being mirrored by Snowprint. Once the event starts, each week for 3 weeks there will be both 2 global and a single personal home screen event. In the global events, kills done by Blood Angels and Orcs are tracked respectively. In the personal home screen event, you also follow a similar theme. Each week, the home screen event changes to include a different game mode, but the concept remains the same. I believe that the community gets a small code after each week, tailored to the winner of the global HSE. With the background out of the way, we can take a look at the actual shop stuff and the rewards. Starting on June 22nd, we have a 3-week mini-mythic event. It's actually subdivided into 3 single week-long shops, but I'll cover that later. There are missions you can complete to earn event points, as well as Armageddon supply currency. I'll show you the Google Sheet with all the shop offerings later, but we'll just look at day 1 of the shop initially. The rest of the shop has pretty similar stuff to the previous mini-mythic events. You can buy special Blood Angels or Orc Blessed Requisition orders at a premium cost. You also have Blood Angels or Orc character shards, or you can buy books or requisition orders. Then you have a row of gold and salvage and badges, followed by 2 rows of orbs. I'll quickly scroll through day 2 here just to give you a feel for how that compares. Slightly different offering of characters, and we get badges in the bottom 2 rows, but everything else looks identical. The next thing to look at is the rewards and currency that we'll get for the event and where it all comes from. The tooltip on the event page tells you that you'll get 2,400 event points from free missions, 900 from premium missions, and 1,200 from the Battle Pass. Let me break that down. You have the weekly 20 free event missions. Each one gives you 90 points, and multiplied by 20, that is a total of 1,800. Then you have the daily event missions. 100 points each for 6 days gets you another 600, upgrading the free total to 2,400 points. You also get 200 points from the daily missions within the Battle Pass, so over 6 days you'll get 1,200 points. Finally, there are the 10 premium missions running for the week. 90 apiece gets you the 900 described. So if you are free to play, 3,600 event points gets you all of the event currency, and that is 800 event currency to be precise. If you buy the premium pass, then the extra points get you the blessed requisition and energy. Moving on to event currency. Here is the tooltip again for where you can find everything. Again, things are complex and I've tried to be as accurate as possible. We've already shown the 800 event currency from the event milestones even as a free-to-play player. You also then get 50 event currency through free offers. You get 50 from tournament arena chests. There are 2 global home screen events running concurrently during this event. The community is rewarded for their combined efforts and you can see the rewards here on screen. On top of that, you also have an individual home screen event that looks at your individual performance in the same game mode, so for week 1 that is Salvage Run. Completing all 3 of these home screen events gets you a bit of extra currency, 140 total. Finally, there's a bit of currency tied up in the quest. All in, that is 1,030 currency as a free-to-play player for week 1, which is exactly the same as the last mini-mythic event. If you buy the £10 premium bundle pack, you effectively get another 1,110 cogs. I have the breakdown on screen, which I believe is accurate and has been checked by Tacticus ambassador and friend Mufarius. Then you have access to this big mythic treasure pack that you can buy, each giving you 700 cogs, but that is probably whale food. I think the Tacticus web store also has some more expensive offers, and you can check that out if those interest you. Anyway, that was a lot of rambling and calculations. If you're like me and just want the takeaway, then this is your message. The end result is that you get 1030 cogs as a free-to-play player, and for most medium spenders, the high-value pack here is the bonus shipment that gets you to 2140. Perhaps unsurprisingly, the bonus shipment pack lasts only for 1 week, so for the 3-week event, you'll need to buy it 3 times if you want to get full value. How does that compare to the Actus event? Well, it's basically the same. It's 10 currency less than before, but I think that's probably a bug in my current test build where you don't get an extra 10 currency purchase bonus for either the premium pass or the Sunday free calendar offer. In terms of currency and earning it, you use the same currency for week 2 and 3, so if I decided not to use any currency at all in week 1, I can still carry that currency forward and spend it later in the event. The 40 currency for quests is hidden in the chests shown on screen. You don't need to get a perfect score, as long as you hit the second last chest milestone, you will get all 40 currency. Similarly, you can see the 40 currency breakdown for Tournament Arena for week 2. Now that we've established the currency thresholds, what does that convert to in shop? On screen here is my usual Google sheet that shows you what is on offer for each day and the amount of each currency that costs. There are several tabs along the bottom that help you navigate from week to week. Like previous events, you have an extra day at the end of each week to spend any currency before the next shop starts. Costs-wise, things are essentially identical to the Actus event. I'll scroll through this to point out a few things. Week 1 has orbs and badges that alternate in the last 2 rows. Everything else is basically the same for each day, except for the characters on offer. The shard amounts shown here are 5 mythic shards, but if you don't have the character in mythic, you'll get the same characters offered, but 25 normal shards for the same cost and stock. Week 2 adds upgrades at the expense of some orb and badge slots. Week 3 adds equipment, again at the expense of some orb and badge slots. On week 3, you'll also be able to buy the Gulgorts and Nicodemus relics on Tuesday and Wednesday respectively for their 190 currency each. If you don't buy them on Tuesday or Wednesday, they're offered later on in the week as well. Well, what should you buy? Generally, what you buy is up to you, the needs of your roster and your own bottlenecks. A couple of things I thought I would point out and sort of recommend. I wouldn't buy character shards. I also probably wouldn't get badges since they are much easier to get since the Onslaught rework. Onslaught has also eased the demands on orbs, but they still remain a big bottleneck for a lot of people. I think that the hardest resources in the game to get at the moment are experience books and gold, and if you're an endgame player, Mythic Salvage is also pretty tough. Personally, I'll be getting books, gold, and Mythic upgrades as my primary focus. A quick word on the Armageddon requisition orders. You might be wondering why they are so much more expensive than the normal requisitions and blessed requisitions. The main thing is that you hit the mercy system for 500 shards much earlier, at 30 pulls rather than 100. Is it enough to tempt me to open them? Not really, but I'm mentioning it anyway in case people want to roll the dice for Archaeotech or something. So that's the event summarized as succinctly as I can manage. What are my thoughts? Well, I'll give Snowprint their due. I was fairly critical when the Actus event came round and the costs of everything was more expensive and the amount of currency we received reduced. Their rationale was that they would be running this style of event more frequently and therefore had to rebalance the payouts. True to their word, it seems like they are doing this sort of thing roughly every 2 to 3 months. The Armageddon event is even nicer than normal because it's technically 3 mini-mythic events by duration and currency, so we're getting almost a month of tons of extra resources and roster progression. Before I sign off, I want to point out 2 resources. As mentioned previously, my Google Sheet is simple, no frills, and you can access it in the video description. Save a copy for yourself and edit and make notes about what you want to buy. If you're higher tech and you want to use the Tacticus Planner, a website maintained by Tacticus creator and friend Carnage, then you can do some more interactive stuff and plan for your spending ahead of time. I've also left a link to that in the video description below. Anyway, as I sign off with my usual thank you to my Patreons and YouTube members, let me know your thoughts about things in the comments below. Bye for now.